You're listening to Mind, Body, Home with your host, Sara Ann. Today, we're talking about slowing down for summer. Okay, first, I just want to say, please don't mind my sickness, but I had to get this recorded. I was feeling a little bit pressed for time. I have house guests coming tomorrow, actually, and I have a little bit of upcoming travel. So I had to record this a little sooner, and I'm just not feeling 100%, but I think I'm going to press through it and provide you with some really great summertime tips. Before I do that, I have a lot I want to celebrate with you, the listener. First and foremost, I'm celebrating my 100th episode. I can't even believe it. It is such a big accomplishment. It is something within my business that I have completely committed to. I've seen a lot of evolution in my business in the last several years, but the one thing that has really stayed true has been my podcast. In fact, my trailer came out in December 2022. And at the time, I don't know if anyone here was listening then, it was called the Living Elemental Podcast. And then I've published my first actual episode January 2023. So I'm patting myself on the back. This is a huge accomplishment. I'm really grateful. I mean, I've met so many incredible people through the podcasting world, whether it's through the people I've had on my show, other podcasters that I have met being on their podcast, or just in different networks and communities. Really incredible people. And everybody out there just using their voice to speak about something that they are passionate about. It's a beautiful, beautiful community. So if you have ever been thinking about hosting a podcast, I highly encourage it. Your podcast can be about absolutely anything. You don't need to have a business to even start a podcast. Like, if you just need to exercise that throat chakra, or you just have something to say, start a podcast. You never know where it's going to lead you. And I have proof of that. The other thing I'm celebrating is my 19th wedding anniversary. Super excited. I'm headed to Miami for a few days with my husband, completely kid-free. My husband and I have not had time away alone in several years. So we are both really looking forward to this. And I might add, we're not doing, South Beach, Miami like we did in our 20s. We are going for total R&R. I think we have some really great restaurants lined up. We have a spa day planned. We have some artists we are looking forward to checking out. We have beach days planned. So I am totally looking forward to that. And, the last thing that I'm celebrating is business, right? My business is flourishing. I've seen such an increase in clients and referrals, which means more income, right? Who doesn't want to celebrate that? I think I'm excited about it because I've never really felt this aligned in my business, where what I offer feels so deeply purposeful. And I truly believe it's because I practice what I preach. Mind, Body, Home alignment was developed through my own journey by living more intuitively with the energy of my home and its feng shui. And because I've developed these practices and rituals that now support my own energy, my home is a place of rest. It's a place of peace. It has become an active participant in supporting my own nervous system. And it's really contributed to my healing journey, right? And all of that directly influences my work, my creativity, my passions, and my purpose. And, let's not forget too, I've moved quite a bit in the last 2 years. This is now our 4th home in under 2 years. And each home has had a unique message for me. And I'm really only aware of it because of the tools and the practices that I continue to dedicate to my home and to myself. Because there is always a message. Your home is literally begging for you to get quiet enough to hear what it has to say. Most of us are not listening. Most people are too busy. They're too distracted. They're too emotionally distant and disconnected. Mind, Body, Home alignment shows you where you haven't been listening. In fact, my client said to me after a few first sessions that she was looking around her home and she didn't even recognize the person who lived there anymore. As a kid, she was always crafting and doing art, and she loved home design, but her home didn't reflect any of that. And I hear this so often. And in fact, it was my story too, right? I was also that kid, always rearranging my furniture, picking out paint colors for my bedroom and new bedding. And I never quite understood why my mom never painted with color. She only painted everything white. And, also crafting and doing art. And I got so far away from that. So, whether you're a woman pursuing your creative passions through your business, or you just feel disconnected from your home or your own sense of creativity or sense of self, mind body home alignment shows you a completely different way of living and being with your home so that you can reunite with the part of you that you feel you lost along the way. And look, this happens to most of us, right? Life takes over. We are go, go, go. Kids may or may not be in the picture. We don't really question our jobs or our relationships, or maybe we do, but we don't necessarily know how to make any sort of change. But how we return back to joy and our expansion and our expression through creative pursuits, that zest for life. Summertime is a really amazing opportunity to invite that back in, invite this new way of living at home into your life. And I'm going to offer you a few tips for slowing down for summer to help with this invitation. But before I do, I want to just gently announce, if you've been considering mind body home alignment coaching, this is your opportunity to get it at an extremely low rate. As I said, the whole point of summer is about slowing down. And when we slow down, we can hear. Our bodies are just attuned to a different frequency. And so if you're serious and you're ready to hear the wisdom of your home, I invite you to join me in Mind Body Home Alignment at 50% off its current price. This one-on-one coaching container is typically priced at $3,000 for a 12-week experience. But if you purchase by May 30th and you can commit for 9 weeks this summer, I know there's travel going on, so there's definitely flexibility with scheduling. You will be a completely different person before the summer is over. I have the link to the coaching program in the show notes if you want to check it out. And if you're not ready to commit to one-on-one coaching, don't fret. I do have some tips for you today to help you ease into your summer with more centered, grounded, calm energy. The only thing you have to do is commit to slowing down. So my first tip is enhancing your morning and or your evening routine, okay? This is great if you work from home or if you work out in the office. Every morning or evening, just go around your home, picking up the little things, okay? It might be just a few cups or utensils that are laying around the counters. It might be tossing all the shoes into the basket or the mudroom closet. It might be folding the laundry that's been sitting in the dryer for 4 days. It could also just be making your bed every morning. Maybe you just fluff the pillows on the sofa every night and fold the blankets. It could be clearing your desk every evening so that you have a clean workspace. It could just be, clearing the vanity top in your bathroom. Literally, this practice should take you 5 minutes tops. And again, this is about slowing down, not adding things to your to-do list. What this practice does is it gets you in tune with what's constantly out and needs put away in the first place. And if we have a routine, then it becomes minimal as time goes on. You start picking up on little clues, right, throughout this process and notice where you could use some discipline, maybe even organize a little bit better. This is a micro practice, 5 minutes tops. My next tip is to assess your bedroom, specifically for rest. Is your bedroom conducive for optimal sleep? Does it need a little bit of decluttering? Do you have electronics in there, including a TV that can be moved to another room? Do you have some workout equipment in there? Whatever is cluttering your bedroom is also cluttering your sleep. And speaking of clutter, I have been talking about the digital clutter detox sessions that are free. There are still 2 free sessions coming up May 20th and 22nd. It's just a free community decluttering session. Join, camera off, camera on. Feel free to chat. Feel free to just work in quietness. It doesn't matter. It's about just getting some things done. I held our first 2 sessions this past week, and so much clearing has been accomplished. My biggest accomplishment was clearing up my email. And I went from having a couple hundred emails like every couple days to about 9 emails in the last 3 days. I mean, I'm not kidding. And all of it was just marketing and subscriptions that I never even look at. So much of it was from businesses in Pittsburgh and events and interior design vendors. That was a huge one. All a past part of me that I don't even connect to anymore was jamming up my mental space just because I had to take that extra time and go through it every couple weeks. Well, now I finally did the deed and I unsubscribed from so much and I'm feeling so much clearer. So yes, any decluttering project, in fact, whether it's digital or, a physical space in your home, it's a great practice to do any time of the year, but especially before summer because we want to chill in the summer. We don't want to be bogged down with our stuff and have our stuff looking at us while we're just trying to relax on the outdoor swing. My third tip is community spaces. This can be your family room, a living room, the basement, wherever you like to hang out as a family or with your partner or with friends. This could also be your dining room table or an outdoor space. Just take inventory of what you have in those spaces, right? Obviously, is there clutter? Do these spaces feel warm and inviting? Do they look like, hey, come sit here, hang out with me here, right? If you're the home that likes to entertain, is your space ready for that? And if your home isn't the entertainment hub, maybe you could prepare some gifts that you plan to take to other parties. There's going to be graduation parties, family reunions, barbecues, pool parties. Organize yourself now so that you have some things on hand to take with you so that you're not scrambling last minute. My next summer slowdown tip is creative space. I want you to make a list of all the things you enjoy doing, but never seem to have time for, right? These could be things that you used to do that you maybe lost touch with. They could be new things that you want to try, and commit to at least one of them. If you have some extra space in your home where you can literally create space to work on it, whether it's some sort of crafting or art project, or maybe just journaling or writing, maybe even meditating or just having quiet space. I talk a lot about creating peaceful pockets in your home. If it requires you to leave the home, make sure you make space for it on your calendar. Do your research now, move things around. It's time to prioritize yourself and some of your passions, right? Summer is connected to the fire element. So it's all about connecting back to our heart, back to our passions and our creative pursuits. So you can intentionally pull in the fire element here. You can light a candle before you sit down to work or play. Can your work be done outside in the sun or out on your sun porch, right? Can you create more natural light in your creative space? Perhaps you just change out the drapery to something a little more lighter, maybe like a sheer fabric just for the summer months. Nature and life's rhythms are totally in support and alignment with this energy. It's you that has to make it the priority. And my last tip for you today is to simply check in. We are about to be at the 6-month mark of the year, right? So use your summer to check in with yourself and some of the goals that you've set. If you're not a goal setter, how is your year shaping up? Are you happy with how the year has been going? Are you feeling like you can't believe it's already June and you feel like pressed for time. And, where did the time go? Because you were too busy or too distracted or just not paying attention, right? Have you taken any action on anything that you've set at the beginning of the year? So use this summertime for reflection and reassessment because before you know it, it will be fall, right? And we'll all be heading into that busy holiday season and, crunch time to get things done before the end of the year. It is busy and there's a lot going on. So ensure that anything that's important to you is also getting accomplished. So maybe you just need to refine a few things or cut out a few things on your calendar to really be able to finish your year strong. I hope you take the time to do some of this summer prep work so that you can just rest and relax, spend some time with yourself, get enough sleep. Find time to also play. Yes, many of us still have to work through the summer. We're not all teachers and kids. We do still have to work, but also make time for play. The fire element, the season of summer, it's all there to support that. All you have to do is prioritize and align yourself with that. And if you want to go deeper and explore some of these concepts even more as they relate to your personal journey, I invite you to work with me in Mind Body Home alignment. Again, at a really great rate, half off for the summer, but you must book by May 30th and you must be willing to commit to 9 weeks. That's it, my friends. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love and gratitude.